What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Ghost Cult Magazine podcast, brought to you by GhostCultMag.com. I'm your host, Keefe. Today's podcast features an interview with Elias Soriano from Nonpoint, talking about their recent album X, out now on Spinefarm Records. Check it out. A quick and dirty interview with Elias from Nonpoint. How are you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you, man?
I'm awesome, man. Thank you. We're here at the Gramercy Theater in New York City, getting ready for your big show tonight. The new album X is out right now on Spinefarm Records. It's killer. First of all, how's the tour going?
It's going great. Yeah, fans are great. Crowds are great. The venues are all awesome. So we're stoked.
Nice. It's a really killer bill, actually. It's great that you guys, it's funny, kind of like you blink and 10, 20 years goes right by. I remember when you guys were like, Nonpoint, the fierce new band. And it's like, everybody check this band out. And now you guys are turning fans onto new bands, which is kind of amazing. Like, hey, these guys are on tour with us. Check them out. Show up early. It's cool.
Yeah, it's good to pass the torch. It's awesome.
Indeed. Well, you're not giving it up that easy.
Because, not yet.
X is amazing. 10 records in 20 years, just about. The whole record is complete top to bottom. I personally dug it a lot. And so many fierce songs. I wanted to start talking about the record, and I wanted to talk about lyrics, right? It's always a strong area for the band, and the lyrics are so powerful on this record and so relatable. And they always are, but like so much so, I think it was really like a great kind of a synergy between these really tough times we're all going through collectively and this record. Yeah. So I wanted to just kind of jump in there and ask about your inspirations for these songs.
State of the world is what it's all about. My environment is wonderful on one side with my family and chaotic on the other side with, just the like I said, the state of things overall. It's therapeutic to talk about them. A lot of the subject matter isn't stuff that a lot of people like to talk about. I hopefully will, be one of the people giving them a voice, and give them an opportunity to kind of hash through some of the feelings by listening to something that they feel like has a little understanding of what they're going through.
Indeed. And again, always the case with Nonpoint songs. So much to sort of grab onto and grab a hold of you. Obviously, look, you have big singles, Chaos and Earthquakes and Fix This are huge right now. But I really love things like Dodge of Destiny. Like, personally hit me. I was like, oh, man, this is like, does this guy write this song for me personally? Because it feels like it. And, you always have that gift, I think, in your career where you'd be able to just kind of reach people with your words and your messages and your voice. And then live, I think that stuff translates over when you perform. It seems like you'll be performing in a big room. I've seen you in little clubs. I've seen you in a big festival. You guys have played on the cruise, like all these things, but I feel like you always perform to like every single person in the room.
Absolutely. I'm there to do just that, to entertain. I know, that there's value in being a showman when you're up there, and I'm proud of my guys, and I'm proud of what we can do as a band live, and always put the good foot forward.
Right on. And indeed, what a tight record. And, it's interesting. Very few bands, I think, kind of sound like, I don't want to say real because that's too general, but really authentic on record as they do live. You guys always put a premium on the live performance, and being a live band, not too much overdubs, not too many, nothing you guys can't perform on the record, right? So, I would look forward to hearing any of these songs live because it sounds like, it sounds like, wow, this record was made live in the room. It feels like almost like a live performance.
Yeah, it's strange. You try to capture that every record. It's not always easy, and sometimes it's not even the goal. With the songs that you're putting out. So this time around, I think, even Fred Archambault, our producer, listening to the demos, decided even himself that this record just needs to sound the way these guys sound. He loved our tones. He loved where we were going with it. musically and sonically. So we dug in there.
Awesome. I'm glad you brought up Fred, because Fred is a terrific producer. He's got a list of credits to his name. And obviously, you guys have made enough records at this point. You know what the band sounds like and what your record should come out with. You know, I'm sure when you're done with a writing session, say we're going to go record now, you in your mind, I'm sure you envision, here's what it probably will come out sounding like when it's finished, right? What does Fred bring to the process that kind of puts his own stamp on things or aids you guys?
I think his stamp is across this record. You know, the care that he took in the tones, the openness that he had to working ideas in the room. You know, his vibe that allowed us to, you know, sometimes even hear hard opinions, and also too to really, you know, stay in the game and work ideas all the way through to the end. You know, his ability to see and hear the layers of songs, and help even build more on top of that, even past our own expectations. It's really not very often that you know you put a song together in a demo form and push it past where you thought even moving it into that studio environment was going to get it. And you know, we definitely surpassed our own expectations.
Awesome. I love to hear that. You know, it's interesting. I think a lot of fans don't realize that there are certain kinds of producers out there that you pay to write your record for you. Nonpoint is a band that has always written their own songs. I don't think a lot of people can tell the difference sometimes, because there are some great producers out there that can write hooky, great, catchy songs. You hear them on Octane, you hear them on, you know, Spotify and Pandora, but you don't realize, like, there are bands that make their own music and are real, and there are bands that don't. And nothing against those guys. I like a lot of those bands, but it's like they don't have writers. And you guys always, to me, seem like the writing, the song craft comes first, whether it's just, you know, a song with a huge chorus or, you know, a chilled out song, you know, whatever it is. You guys seem to really put the thought and care into the writing, and I think that ends up kind of following through everything else.
Yeah, especially on this record. This record was definitely a conscious effort on going from song to song and putting that song behind us once we knew it was, you know, even in our own minds, amazing, great, and ready for the record. But we put that feeling and that direction and the focus of what we were trying to accomplish in that song behind us, and then moved on with a fresh slate and a new mission and a different focus to make each song kind of have its own.
Awesome. You know, again, like I said earlier, X can mean a lot of things. 10, obviously, your Roman numeral and 10 records. But it's, you know, it's a significant kind of era for the band. You guys have kind of, like I said, graduated to sort of the veterans. But again, I remember when you guys were the new, you know, the upstarts.
As do I.
Yeah, of course. You wouldn't forget those times. You guys were on fire very early, right out of the gate from the demo on. So it's interesting, you know, looking back, like in this era a little bit. I think when this era passes and we have whoever's new and next, we'll look back and say, man, I feel like we have a lot of veteran bands that are still killing it and still putting out very high quality stuff. And you have a lot of fire new bands, you know, that are like, hey, check us out, you know. So I think it's a pretty good time for music fans, but also to be in a band at this you know, stage. It's a lot of bands don't make it this far, you know.
Well, we've been lucky. Our fans definitely support us. You know, keep us coming. Our labels always support us. You know, they like our band. They like working with our band and like putting out our music. And as long as those two parts of the equation keep doing what they're doing, we should be around for a little while.
Killer. Well, I hope you guys keep going.
Thanks.
One thing that I'll just have a couple more for you, and I'll give you a break and give you back your time.
No, you're good.
What I really dug about you guys in the process to the album release, in general, you guys are always, as you said, very in touch with the fans. But I love how you guys work social media between yourselves and the label. You're very invested in the fans. You give the fans a voice, which a lot of bands don't do. What do you want to hear from us? Where would you like us to play? Not just the whole band as a unit, but individually. I see all you guys on social media reaching out and actually engaging and getting conversational with the fans, like, hey, this is your band too, this is your tour too, and it's very rare. You know, like I think it's the goal for everybody, right? That's what they preach. And I'm a marketer by trade, but which is why it's fascinating to me. But I really love how you guys execute the vision. You like really talk to people.
Yeah. Well, again, they're a part of the equation, and if you have to give people, the attention they deserve more than anything. You know, our fans are very supportive, and they have the same kind of longevity that we've had. So, you got to give them the same kind of respect.
Right on. And then in terms of sort of the availability of music, I always wanted to ask your opinion about this. Obviously, on one hand, this technology is amazing. Spotify, Bandcamp, YouTube, everything is available all the time. But how do you feel? How does that affect you personally or the band in terms of sales? Is it easier for you guys to bring the music and merch? As we sit near the merch table, you're ready to sell some merch tonight. We sell some physical albums.
Yeah.
But do you feel like it's a help or a hindrance to have all this so available?
Help or hindrance isn't really up to us. At the end of the day, I could put my foot down and say, hey, I'm pulling all my stuff off of all these, streaming formats. The only way you can get my music is if you come to the show. And, that's only going to hurt me. So it's something that you take in stride more than anything. Music changes fast. If you look back, on my first record, I had a cassette version of Statement, so being now, where things are swinging, basically into subscription and streaming platforms, it's just another way to get the music out.
Right on. I think of Prince. Prince was staunchly anti-streaming, right?
Yes.
And Tool still can't get their music on digital platforms.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. I never quite thought that, because funny you talked about cassettes. I never thought in my life that cassettes, which I had all my life, and vinyl would make such a huge comeback as a commodity. But fans seem to really love the packaging now. It's like a thing. They're like, love these things again. It seemed like for a while, it's like, you can't sign it. I think Rob Zombie is famous for saying, like, you can't sign an MP3.
Yeah.
Right? So, it's interesting to have a vinyl now and a cassette, and even some bands are doing 8 tracks. I'm like, 8 tracks?
Yeah.
Let me get my 77 Pinto out and 8 tracks. But,
I have an 8-track player.
Nice. And you can play new 8 tracks on it. It still plays?
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Still works.
Yeah, I have like an MP3 cassette player that I get all my like grungy independent bands send us cassettes, and I put it in there. But and then rip it to my computer and put it on my phone. Sorry, but I can't help it. I'm a technology guy, but I find it interesting that this stuff has made like kind of a return.
Yeah. Because people are starting to remember, the quality of what that brought into a person's life. It's collecting.
Right. It is. Yeah, it's definitely a collector's items, and kind of like, you can see my display.
Yeah. It shows you how much you love that band.
Right on. It's good. So what's on tap for you guys after this tour? Busy time. Album just dropped, so I'm sure you want to get out in front of everybody.
Yeah, more touring. November, December. We're doing a support run. We got Shiprocked again this year. So going out on their 10th anniversary, so rightfully so, our 10th record. So it's going to be awesome. And then overseas for a little while, and then we'll probably come back for the Summer Festival, spring.
Oh, awesome. That Shiprock lineup is insane looking.
Yeah.
We got to get some of you guys out there with the Stowaways and do some jams, some covers and stuff.
Yeah.
That always looks like a lot of fun. We've covered Shiprock a few times, and everybody raves about the trip. It seems like a good time. You don't feel like trapped out at sea with the fans. Like, you probably get to enjoy yourself a little bit, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. Our Shiprock family is always supportive. So, they're family. You can't get mad when family's around.
That's it. All right. Well, hey, that's awesome to hear. I'm glad, once again, it's a pleasure to speak to you.
Thank you, man.
X is out right now on Spinefarm Records. I hope everybody goes and gets it, and go buy some of this merch, buy these vinyls, somebody buy these cassettes and vinyls.
Vinyls are only available here.
Vinyls are only available on the tour, people. Go see this band live.
Or FYE, really.
FYE, that's right. They always do
They have the clear one for us. I think they're doing it.
The customs.
But these are blue. Album cover blue.
Oh, like the artwork. Sure.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, man. Hey, Elias from Nonpoint. Thanks so much for spending some time.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Peace out, man.
Thank you.
Thanks for checking out today's podcast. Follow, like, and subscribe wherever you hear these podcasts. Also, check out Ghost Cult Magazine on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. And finally, check us out at ghostcultmag.com. We're out. Peace.